Good morning. Today you will be completing the fifth 6 weeks assessment for writing. So this assessment is going to be a little different than what you might have had in the past, but it is all related to your writing. So I will read the instructions, and I will also be reading any applicable text that goes with it, and I'll be reading any of your answer choices for your multiple choice questions. Okay, let's get started. Thesis statements. A thesis statement is an opinion-based sentence that names the topic of your paper. It should clearly state what you plan to support, discuss, or prove. Okay. Practice writing thesis statements. Okay. For these questions, you are given the prompt, and you will then identify the question that the prompt is asking. What are you being asked to write about? Write out the question. You will then be asked to answer the question. Then you will write a thesis statement for your answer to the question. Okay. Question number 1. Write an essay explaining why it is important to forgive. Question the prompt is asking. Answer to the question. Thesis statement. Number 2, the amount of graffiti has greatly increased at your school. The members of the school board must find ways to stop the graffiti. Write a composition in which you fully explain the solution the school board could use to solve this problem. Question the prompt is asking. Answer to the question. Thesis statement. All right, your next section. Using transitions. Transition words and phrases can help maintain good, clear flow in your writing. They can be used to connect paragraphs, sentences, and parts of sentences. In your writing, be sure to use transitions to show how ideas are connected to one another. Underline transitions in the paragraph and add appropriate transition words or phrases that are missing. So how does marijuana have such a big impact on a person's ability to function? Scientists have asked that question for a long time. Blank decades of research, they not only figured out how marijuana works, blank scientists also discovered an important communications system in the brain and the body, which they called the endocannabinoid system. Question number 2. Last year, the number of people killed in accidents while walking went up. Blank, a 21-year-old man was killed in New York City when a truck backed over him. Police officers say he didn't hear the truck, blank, he was wearing headphones. Question number 3. SEALs have to be smart and disciplined. Blank a mission, a SEAL will learn everything he can about his targets, including their culture. Blank, SEALs must have the mental toughness to stay sharp in the most chaotic situations. Blank, when they haven't slept in days. Your next section, adding relevant information. To convince readers that you know what you are talking about, Present them with details and examples. Stories and anecdotes can also be used to support your main idea. Read each statement and choose the sentence that best supports the idea. Number 1, it should not be against the law to use iPods and cell phones while walking. Your choices. Some people say it should be. When a careless walker causes an accident, other people can get hurt. People have a right to some freedom. Hawaii, New York, and other states may pass laws against using electronics while crossing a road. Number 2, the world's deadliest animal is not big or scary looking. Venom is another way some animals kill. It is a mosquito. Polar bears will silently creep up on a seal, a walrus, or even a camper. The mosquito passes the parasite to the next person it bites. Question number 3. Theaters have the right to insist on no outside food. Your first choice. The temptation to save money is understandable. From the customer's point of view, though, the lack of choices can feel frustrating. When you buy a ticket, you accept its restrictions. I frequently carry a can of soda or a package of snacks into the movie theater. All right, now you have a revision passage. Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Dwayne wrote to explain his obsession with sneakers. Read Dwayne's paper and think about how it should be revised. Then answer the questions that follow. This is only the beginning of his paper. Sneakerheads. I collect Nikes and Reeboks the way some millionaires collect Ferraris and Porsches. I feel a calling in my soul. Sneakerheads collect, buy, and sell rare sneakers. Sneakerheads are fanatical about these shoes. Collectors travel for hours to commune with hundreds of other sneakerheads at events like SneakerCon. They even have their own language, since dead stock means unworn shoes in their original packaging. The price of used sneakers goes up each year. Colorways are the available color of a particular model. Question 1. Which sentence could be added to the beginning of the paper to help introduce the topic? A. Open my closet and you will find dozens of pairs of sneakers, including some that haven't been worn. B. My sneaker collection is big. C. I am going to tell you about an interesting hobby that I have. D. Some people collect different things like coins, stamps, models, jewelry, or baseball cards. Question number 2. Which sentence could be added after sentence 2 to strengthen the introduction to this paper? A. Sneakers are fun to collect. B. I like sneakers of all kinds. C. I am what is called a sneakerhead. D. Some people think my hobby is strange. Look at sentence 2. I feel a calling in my soul. Question 3. Dwayne would like to add the following sentence to the second paragraph, sentences 3 through 5. They stay up late to follow eBay auctions obsessively monitoring online message boards. Where should he add this sentence? The second paragraph. Sneakerheads collect, buy, and sell rare sneakers. Sneakerheads are fanatical about these shoes. Collectors travel for hours to commune with hundreds of other sneakerheads at events like SneakerCon. Where should this sentence be placed in the second paragraph? A, before sentence 3, B, after sentence 3, C, after sentence 4, D, after sentence 5. Question 4. Which of the following revisions would clarify the transition between paragraph 2, sentences 3 through 5, and paragraph 3, sentences 6 through 9? A, sneakerheads have lived in a world of their own. B, it takes years for sneakerheads to build their collection. C, sneakerheads have developed a specialized language to search for shoes for their collections. D, make no change. So we're going to go back to paragraphs 2 and 3. Sneakerheads collect, buy, and sell rare sneakers. Sneakerheads are fanatical about these shoes. Collectors travel for hours to commune with hundreds of other sneakerheads at events like SneakerCon. They even have their own language. Since dead stock means unworn shoes in their original packaging, the price of used sneakers goes up each year. Colorways are the available colors of a particular model. Question 5. The word since does not appropriately connect the ideas in sentences 6 to 7. Which transition word should replace since? A, consequently. B, for example. C, yet. D, first of all. Let's look at sentences 6 and 7. They even have their own language, since dead stock means unworn shoes in their original packaging. Question 6. Which sentence in the third paragraph, sentences 6 through 9, should be deleted? A, sentence 6, B, sentence 7, C, sentence 8, or D, sentence 9? Okay. Third paragraph. They have their own language, since dead stock means unworn shoes in their original packaging. The price of used sneakers goes up each year. Colorways are the available colors of a particular model. Now we have an editing passage. Andrew learned something important about his parents and decided to write a narrative about his experience. Proofread Andrew's paper and look for any mistakes that he has made. When you have finished reading, answer the questions that follow. This includes only the first part of the story. Question number 7. What change, if any, should be made in sentence 2? A, change there to there. B, change strict to stricter. C, change I to we. D, no change should be made in this sentence. Question number 8. What is the best way to combine sentences 3 and 4? A, last Friday I spent the night at Tony's house with my friends Terrence and Dikey. B, last Friday I spent the night at Tony's with Terrence and Dikey because they also spent the night at Tony's house. C, last Friday I spent the night at Tony's house. My friends Terrence and Dikey did too. Last Friday I spent the night at Tony's house with my friends Terrence and Dikey. Question number 9. What change, if any, should be made in sentence 7? A, change my friends and me to me and my friends. B, change me to I. C, insert a comma after followed. D, no change should be made in this sentence. Question 10. What is the correct way to write sentence 9? A, I didn't want to be left out and I put a streak in my hair too. B, I didn't want to be left out, so I put a streak in my hair too. C, I didn't want to be left out because I put a streak in my hair too. D, I didn't want to be left out, I put a streak in my hair too. 11. What change, if any, should be made in sentence 10? A, change stared to stared. B, insert a comma after mirror. C, change to two. D, no change should be made in this sentence. Number 12. What change, if any, should be made in sentence 12? A, add a comma after second. B, delete the word thought. C, change worse to worser. D, no change should be made in this sentence. Question 13. What change, if any, should be made to sentence 13? A, change are to is. B, insert a comma after 55. C, insert a comma after said. D, no change should be made in this sentence. Question 14. What change, if any, should be made to sentence 15? A, change tried to try. B, change quiet to quietly. C, change mom and dad to mom and dad. D, no change should be made in this sentence.